Now that you've officially protected your cards, what are you going to do with them? You're just going to stack them, you know, are you just going to leave them on the table? What are you going to do? So for me, one way is to put on your desk. You can do something like this if it's graded. That's more than fine. I don't see your card getting wrecked. You could then get a empty box and start putting your cards in there. Again, not the best way. One method that people have done for a long time is they have gone to the binder. Now this is a old binder. This is, I believe, hockey cards in a baseball card album. But this is the old way that most kids were storing cards when I was growing up. So even got Mario Lemieux here. These are very old cards, but as you can see here, even upon inspection, these cards have gone up. And the corners are all beat up because these cards were mint when I got them. Me and Gary Roberts. And then if you notice as well, they're stacked on top of each other, which I don't like. So this is one way to protect your cards, but I never recommend something like this because here again you've got some cool Mario Lemieux cards, but the tops are exposed, and if you look at the top of the card, they're really messed up. Like even at the corners here, not the best way. And the plastic is kind of getting messed up as well. And then you have all that pressure of each layer stacked on top of each other. So when you think about it in theory, they're just getting pushed. And when you grab it, the cards slip and slide a little bit. I wouldn't recommend using binders. I think it's a method that shouldn't be used anymore. So let's talk about one of the ways I prefer, and that is to get yourself something like this. This is just a card box that you get, and you should be able to assemble this yourself. What you can do immediately, what I do is I covered it up, but you put your info here, put a piece of sticker, or maybe even just on the box because you don't want sticker to fall off. Put your phone and number, maybe some reward if somebody finds your cards if they're expensive. And then what I do is my cards that I don't see as much value with. So these are just kind of like Tim Hortons cards. What I'll do is I'll just kind of stack them and then put them inside a box like this. Now these other boxes, I've got them stacked the same way. This is a good way to protect them. Kind of keep them on the side or upright depending on the box. And then, you can grab something soft and then, push it to the side so that your cards aren't slipping and sliding. This is one way. But again, I recommend going the other way where you have bigger boxes. So we'll put it here for now. So this is going to be an empty box. Now, this one has a lid. I believe you can put up to 500 cards in here. And if you look inside here, this one's empty. It's already starting to bend a little bit, this guy. Yeah, this one wasn't assembled the best, but I mean, it still works. But anyways, this is where you can put a lot of your cards. If they're not in top loaders and all that, you just put them inside and then you leave them in here. It's a good spot, in my opinion. If you do use a team bag, they're going to be harder to fit properly. They're going to kind of be pinched in a little bit more. If you're going to put them in here in top loaders, team bags, top loaders are fine. Top loaders, it fits nice. You can put all the cards you want going this way. But what I do is I'll stack them. I'll show you in the other one. And I'll put them on the side like this. And then I'll stack them going this way. So instead of going vertically, I'll go horizontally. So that's kind of one way of doing it. So that's what a box looks like. This works really well. Again, write your name. These are great. This is just an empty one that I'll eventually want to fill up. Now let me just give you guys a little look into my cards, some of them. Now this is probably more of my holy grail of cards at the moment. Ones I'm investing into. So this is how I store my cards. As you can see, I have some graded here. And always I'll grab a piece of something that was shipped to me, like bubble wrap, and I'll use it to kind of fill in the gap so nothing slides. And again, you could use elastic. I'll use elastic on the outside, just make sure it's not too tight. But here I got like a Luka Doncic graded card. I've got some other ones as well I probably shouldn't share with. But again, just put something in there like so, and that's going to help kind of protect your cards. If you protect your cards long term, it's going to be worth it. There's nothing worse than having bad cards. So what I do typically, I'm going to be straightforward with it. I will get cards, and whether or not I want to grade them or not, I'm going to put them on this side. Now, once they're on this side, some of them I will keep, for example, like in, I'll keep them in a team bag. But what I'll do is I'll rate grade with question mark. Same thing with these. So I'll have other cards in here. And if you're wondering, I do have all the Zion Williamson cards. I have them all. I'm trying to own 51% of the market. So anyways, you'll put these cards like this. Keep them in a penny sleeve top loader with a rookie card. All these are rookies. Probably better way to invest. Think about it in terms of first edition. And then these as well. These are some other ones. So I have all these cards in this section that I'm going to then give to Frank or have somebody inspect it. And then they're going to say whether to grade or not. If he says to grade them, then I stack them over here. And then eventually I ship all of these off to get graded. If they're not graded, then what I do is I put them in my no grade section. And these are going to be my ungraded cards. Either they're not centered properly, or there's some corner issues, or it's just not that rare of a card. So again, these other ones that we had done previously, I could take my Acuna Matata, put him in there, and now he's in a good spot. Eventually, that empty box will be full of just graded cards and non-graded cards. And that's kind of the goal. That's the way I'm working the system. So eventually, once I have enough cards in here, I will take them and put them in there. Maybe we can go through a couple of the ones I do have. Like a lot of this are like RJ Barrett cards, mostly basketball, Kyle Kuzma, and then again, tons of Zions. So that's kind of what I'm looking into now. I would say it's mostly, Zion, which is still a risk, but the other ones, like the stack, is less of a risk. These are established players. So that's kind of how I would store the cards. Again, this is a great way. Even when I move this around, it's stored nice. Again, I do have a piece of, bubble wrap that I got from a package. I folded it and I put it in here just so nothing's moving around as much. One way to divide it is I grab a top loader and then I'll put a piece of green tape and I'll write something on it. That's a good way of organizing your cards as well. And it's a great way to divide them. It fits nice in here. So I like being organized with the cards. I write on tape, then put the tape on the box, because if you do it the other way around, then it's hard to, erase things. So I prefer to use it on tape, and I always have a clean box. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because at the end of each month, we're going to be giving away free packs of cards. We don't know if they're going to be baseball, football, basketball, UFC cards. We don't know yet. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you guys in the next episode.